What was that? Adapted from the Golden Book of the same name. One dark, cold winter night, as the moon came up over the Bear family's cabin, Wise Owl fluttered down and perched on her favorite branch of the old oak tree. There she spent most evenings keeping watch over the little bears who lived in the cabin. She was joined in this nightly watch by her forest friends, White Rabbit, Field Mouse, and Rough and Tumble Raccoon, who would often peek in the window of Baby Bear's bedroom to see that Baby Bear was safely in bed for the night.
Good night, Mom and Pop.
Good night, Mama and Papa.
Good night, boys.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite.
Good night, Mommy. Good night, Papa.
Good night, little one.
Good night, little one. Sweet dreams.
Baby Bear snuggled down under the bed covers. He rubbed his little feet together to warm them.
Good night. Silly Papa. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Silly Willy. Day is done, little one. Close my eyes now, sweet dreaming. Every star is a light watching over me tonight.
Then, right in his room, he heard an eek, and a creak, and a squeak.
What was that?
Baby Bear skedaddled out of bed, down the hall and into bed with his big, brave brother.
Who's that?
Big, brave brother lifted the bed covers to see what was hugging his legs.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm scared.
Scared of what?
I heard an eek right in my room.
Oh, that's nothing.
And a creak and a squeak.
Well, that's nothing to be frightened of.
But what were those noises?
Oh, there. Those noises were just some little mice in their mouse house getting ready for bed. That eek was a baby mouse. He said eek when he slid his bare feet down between the cold, cold sheets. The creak was the sound of the bed springs when he turned over on his side to go to sleep.
Oh, but what about the squeak? I heard a squeak, too.
Ah, that's easy. See, the squeak was his mother's voice saying goodnight. Mice speak in squeaks, you know.
Oh, I never thought of that. And then did the mother blow out the candle?
Uh-huh.
And did she kiss him goodnight?
Uh-huh. Now, go to sleep or you wake up the baby mouse.
They both snuggled down under the covers and rubbed their little feet together to warm them.
Good night, big brother.
Good night, little one. Day is done, little ones. Close your eyes now, sweet dreamers. Every star is a light watching over you tonight.
Then they shut their eyes to go to sleep, and all was quiet for a while. Then, deep in the wall, they heard a tap, and a rap, and a snap.
What was that?
They skedaddled out of bed, down the hall,
Hurry.
as fast as they could skedaddle, and into bed with the biggest brave brother bear.
Who's that? Oh, it's you. We heard a tap and a rap.
A snap, too.
Oh, why, there's nothing to be frightened of. Those noises you heard were just little spiders.
Little spiders?
Mm-hmm. Little spiders getting ready for bed.
The two little bear brothers moved closer to their big brother.
But what was that tap?
Tap? Well, that tap was It was a little spider who had finished brushing his teeth and was tapping water off his toothbrush.
But what was that rap?
The rap was the sound of his hairbrush as he laid it down on the dresser after brushing his hair. He's a tidy little fellow.
And the snap?
The snap. The snap was the light being turned out by his mother when she came to tuck him in and say goodnight.
Oh, did she kiss him goodnight?
Uh-huh. Now let's go to sleep, too, so we don't wake them up.
Okay.
You're very brave.
Mm-hmm.
So all three bear brothers snuggled down under the covers. They rubbed their little feet together to warm them. Then Baby Bear and Big Brother Bear and Biggest Brave Brother Bear shut their eyes to go to sleep.
Oh, your feet are cold.
Day is done, little ones. Close your eyes now, sweet dreamers. Every star is a light, watching over you tonight.
Everything was dark and quiet again. And then way down under the floor came a bump and a thump and a clump.
What was that?
They all skedaddled out of bed, down the hall, into bed with their mama and papa.
Oh, my.
What was that?
Mama and Papa Bear lifted the bed covers to find the three little bears huddled together deep down under the covers near their feet.
Whatever is the matter?
We heard a bump under the floor,
And a thump.
And a clump.
and we decided this is the safest place.
And the quietest.
And the best.
Baby Bear cuddled up next to his mother. She held him close and patted his little head.
Why, now, there's nothing to be frightened of.
Then what was that bump?
That bump? That bump was a little bug taking off his shoes, getting ready for bed, just the way you do. He let one of his shoes drop with a bump on the hard dirt floor. Hasn't that ever happened to you?
Yes, but what was that thump?
That thump was the little bug thumping up his pillow.
His pillow?
Mm-hmm. To make it nice and comfortable.
But that doesn't explain the clump. I heard a clump, too.
Of course you did. That was the little bug's picture book hitting the floor. You see, the little bug's mother had already told him good night 5 times.
5 times?
Maybe 6. But instead of going to sleep, he began looking at his picture book, just like you. Then he heard his mother coming back to check on him.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So he threw the book to the floor with a clump, squeezed his eyes shut, and hurried and went to sleep. You'll probably hear him snoring any minute now.
Oh, boy. I've never heard a bug snore before.
They all listened very hard, but instead of a bug snoring, they heard Mama's voice.
All bugs and bears should be asleep in their own beds. Skedaddle back to bed now and go to sleep.
Besides, this bed is too full.
What was that?
The next morning at breakfast, Mama Bear served oatmeal steaming hot from the pot.
Such a night. Why, I thought that wind would never stop howling.
Me too.
Baby Bear began tapping the table with his spoon, anxious to taste the oatmeal. Mama always filled the smallest bowl first. And then, right there in the kitchen, they heard a ping, and a pang, and a pong.
What was that?
That was my spoon, silly. I dropped it.
Nope. You know what that sound was?
No, Pop, what was that?
Yeah,
Papa, what was that?
Okay, Father, what was that?
That was the sound of hammers. All the little mice and all the little spiders and all the little bugs are fixing my broken bed.
silly Papa.